JW says play calling is trash, conservative. Yeah, I mean, I just and like I said, I'm not gonna look at it and say, well, the co-OC thing doesn't work because I think it can work, and I'm not quite sure that is the problem, but I know for sure it's definitely the conservative nature of the play calling. But as people have put in the chat, it's just Jim Harbaugh. That's his system. It's not going to change, and I mean, based on where we are now, this is what JJ's third or fourth start, I think. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, it does not look any different. I mean, they had the deep
not
shot
much different. Yeah.
in his first start, but yeah, it doesn't look different. So it's buckle up, partner. This is going to be exactly what we see for the next 7 weeks. It's going to be this. So I don't know. As far as the defense though, kind of getting back there,
Yeah.
um, I thought they were lights out. They thought they did a terrific job. Like you said, that pass rush was really good, and Indiana seemed to overall just kind of bail. Like they just gave up on the run game. We're like, our run game is going to be those little quick, bubble screens out wide. They were going to line up, 2 and 3 receivers out there and just fling it out there and catch and run. Like that's going to be it. And really, I mean, for a while, they literally just did it. Trips to the right, throw it out there. All right, run trips to the left, throw it out there to the left, and just went back and forth. Um, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I think I think your defense is going to keep you in any game that you play,
Oh yeah.
because they at especially the D line, and I think the cover guys are really good, and that's something we kind of talked about before the season. Was we thought they would be better on the back end. DJ Turner's been really good. I think he had he had a PI that was declined, but they had a call on a roughing the passer call, which that was a absolute bogus call. But no, he had a really good game coverage wise. So the defense will be able to keep you in any game because I almost don't care who you play. If you give up 10 points, that is legit. Shut out in the second half. Like I can live with that every day of the week.
Yeah. I mean, look, and also, look, I feel like people they don't listen fully. The team is doing really well overall, guys. And me and Des have brought this up. They're trending in the right direction. Okay. They're having defensive playmakers like Oki and Mike Moore start to show themselves. There's a lot of good things going for this team, right? And so if you can't take, we love you. If you can't take us kind of pointing out little things that can be fixed or get better, I'm sorry, but we love you anyway. And at the end of the day is when we bring up these things, we're just talking about different areas that we need to see improved, or would like to see improved, or addressed, or critiqued, or I don't know, fine tuned a little bit so they can continue to head towards their goals, right? So look, I'm trying to put things adequately so maybe it could be heard differently, but I think I just need to say go blue, and that's what people want to hear. We're the best. We're
Mike
number
Four
one.
puts bowl eligible, baby. That
That is true.
I'm going to take that as being sarcastic. JW28 puts our receivers can't get open against Indiana corners. That was a question mark. I don't know if that was posed to us. What are your thoughts on that, Dre?
Our receivers can't get open against. That is something a little bit to think about. That's a good point, and that's something that it feels like we've been a big what's it called, the big Saturday kickoff, whatever it's
Big
called.
noon
We've been
kickoff.
big noon kickoff every week. It seems like, and that's not the first time Joe Clyde has brought that up. It's happened, a couple times where uh, our wide receivers have not gotten great separation. Now, a few times we have, those were the moments where JJ has overshot guys deep a little bit. But I would say this, for the caliber of athletes that we have, um, would think that we would get a little bit more. Now, that's something that can improve throughout the course of the year. But for this passing game to take that step forward, another step forward, that is an area that they need to improve on and getting better with getting separation.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to say because I will say obviously, well, seemingly none of the receivers got open deep, but they did get open as far as crossing routes and intermediate things like that. So I'm not sure I'm gonna just agree wholeheartedly with that. I think with just trying to get deep, it doesn't seem to be working or clicking as of right now. But I think I think they'll be fine. Um, it'll be nice when Roman Wilson gets back. I did not. I guess I missed his injury last week, but
Roman,
I
yeah.
saw early before the kickoff that they said he was out, and I don't think he made the trip. But nonetheless, it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens there. I think we had Cornelius. I felt like we saw Cornelius more and Andrew Anthony more. And Anthony is one, like, they just cannot seem to get him in the fold of things. Like, Joel
Not
Klatt
consistently.
mentioned after I think and maybe I misheard him, but he said after the Michigan State game where he went crazy, he hasn't had more than one catch in any game since then. Like, that's
Yeah,
crazy to me. That
yeah,
is wild.
yeah.
I just don't. I may I don't know. Maybe there's just not enough to go around, but I would like to think that there is. But I mean, Ronnie Bell got, I think, double digit catches today. I think Schoonmaker got quite a few. But man, I think Andrell is a receiver and a weapon that can definitely be used in this offense. I mean, I know he sure as heck did last year in that Michigan State game. I mean, he was, especially that catch and run, he was flying. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. I don't know. Maybe something's not clicking for him. Maybe him and JJ don't have just that connection. Maybe he's the third or fourth read on some of these pass plays, and can't get the ball. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, there's some multitude of factors that can go into that, but vice versa. I will say that you've been calling for the appearance of Cornelius Johnson for quite a while now, and he made some plays today. So I think you need to give your boy Cornelius Johnson some props. He made some plays today. You've been
I
asking it to
will
him to show up.
I will give him some props. He did show up today. He also had a pretty big drop as well. We
He
got
did.
we got
He made
we
up
can't
for
do
it. He made
that.
up.
He did. He
He made
absolutely
up
did
for it.
make up for it. He played well. He played well. He's really physical. He caught the ball well at the one drop. But yeah, absolutely. Zach Wallace puts, you're absolutely right to ask tough questions after that game. The analyst was literally calling the run play, the pass offense's pop gun. Uh, I don't know about the last part, but Joel Klatt absolutely, and I don't, some people may not listen to with the actual with the sound on, but Joel Klatt absolutely called that. He basically said, when they run motion, they're going to throw it. When they don't run motion, they're going to run it. Now, he even qualified it because as soon as he said it, it came to fruition. But he's like, I'm not saying that's going to happen every single time, but you definitely want to avoid those tendencies if you're not doing it on purpose, right? So if you
Right.
get into next week against Penn State and you don't run motion and they, absolutely commit to the run and you go play action up top, right? You can use that to your advantage. I guess I'll say it that
Yeah.
way. But for him to call it, that was pretty interesting.